Hi, a film I caught up with recently was Blue in the Face. Um, Wayne Wang and Paul Auster's companion film to their very recent work, then, Smoke. Smoke is the story of the proprietor of a cigar store in Brooklyn in 1990 and the various relationships with characters he has who populate his life and his business. Blue in the Face, rather, was assembled from additional material shot during the production of Smoke, additional scenes, improvisations, and various other extra elements, some Vox Pop interviews, people delivering statistics about Brooklyn, and various sort of disconnected bits and bobs. While Smoke is more of a single coherent, structured narrative, although it has chapters and digressions and diversions, Blue in the Face is much more of a mosaic. It's much looser. There are improvised monologues by Lou Reed, acting as himself as a clerk in the cigar store, talking to the camera about living in New York and living in Brooklyn. Jim Jarmusch appears apparently as himself, talking to Harvey Keitel as the shop's proprietor, Augie, about how he's about to have his last cigarette and wants to share it with um, someone who's been so important in his life in supplying him with tobacco. And we also see interviews with people on the street, a woman talking about her birthday, um, people talking about the ethnic mix of Brooklyn, and just video footage of life on the streets of the city. It's an interesting project. Smoke is, as I say, a much more conventional film. This is more of a mosaic, more of a giving a sense of the life of Brooklyn, the day to day aspects of what it's like living in an environment like this and the disconnected elements and the sights and sounds rather than the characters, perhaps. And as such, it's quite an interesting film, but it doesn't really work as a standalone project. It grew out of Smoke, of them having extra time and extra footage and deciding to flesh out these bits and bobs that they filmed between takes into a full project on its own. And as a result, it feels vestigial. It feels like a DVD extra, something put together like an extended gag reel or Christmas tape. Um, with Anchorman, the first Anchorman film, an entire film's worth of footage was cut from the finished version of the movie because it overran so massively, and that was assembled into effectively a 1.5 Ron Burgundy movie. It's included in various home video releases called Wake Up Ron Burgundy. And it is noticeably not as good as the first film. It's the bits that didn't quite work or were taking up too much time cut together into a coherent, vaguely narrative. And this is similar. It's interesting. It is artistically valid because it's these various disparate elements which individually are quite interesting. But it doesn't stand apart from Smoke as being a film in its own right. It's it's something extra. And so if you like Smoke, then I would recommend Blue in the Face, but I would not recommend seeing Blue in the Face on its own. It's like watching only the middle episodes of a TV show.